Spoilers ahead. Watch out, and take care. The movie begins in a small town called Homeland. At the local school, some terrorists have taken black students and teachers as hostages. Meanwhile, parole officer Connor Connolly and his team are on their way to the school in a car. Police Chief Alston is in charge of the mission to rescue the hostages. Upset parents are protesting the situation, and Alston receives a message from Mayor Wipoli: if everyone isn't brought to safety, Alston will lose his job. The students and teachers are frightened as they've been held captive for a while, and the terrorists haven't made any demands yet, causing tensions to rise. Alston talks to Mason, a military operations captain, who suggests letting his team handle the rescue mission. Mason then takes charge and starts giving orders, while Stephen, his team member, prepares to attack the building with missiles. Connor and his team are instructed to be ready upon arrival. In the midst of tension, everyone is aware of the risky rescue mission underway. When the helicopter arrives at the building, Connor and his team swiftly disembark from their van. Inside the building, fear is palpable among the hostages. Mason gives the order to blast the building, initiating the rescue operation. Amidst the chaos, Miles accidentally triggers an explosion, stepping on something, causing mayhem. As the rescue unfolds, a terrorist holds a teacher at gunpoint. Miles gets injured in the commotion, leading to further chaos. The helicopter catches fire and crashes, adding to the turmoil. Connor is also seriously injured in the ordeal. Eventually, the team manages to rescue Connor and others. Subsequently, 18 months later, Connor waits in a car for Smith, an informant. When Smith arrives, a car suddenly blocks their path, prompting Smith to flee. Dealer Cornell emerges from the car and gives chase, leading to a tense situation where Connor has to react quickly. While fleeing, Smith is struck by a car, and Cornell manages to catch him momentarily, before Smith slips away. Just as Cornell aims to shoot him, Connor intervenes, leading to a struggle, and Connor ends up shooting Cornell in self-defense. Smith makes a dash for the door, and Connor urges him to escape. In the midst of the chaos, Spade and his henchmen arrive, guns drawn, adding to the tension. Local drug kingpin Tyrone Pettis shows up, asserting authority and preventing further violence. He notices Cornell's body, a trusted ally, and tensions escalate. With Spade holding Connor at gunpoint, Tyrone insists on Connor's release. However, Connor's actions, including shooting Cornell without official sanction, leads to interrogation by Detective Reynolds. Connor's claim of self-defense lacks evidence, as the sole witness, Smith, is killed by Tyrone. As a result, Connor is suspended for violating protocol. Meanwhile, children innocently play nearby, unaware of the turmoil. Tyrone, accompanied by Spade, interacts with Alston, who demands more donations. Spade warns Tyrone against trusting Alston, hinting at deeper conflicts within the city's power dynamics. Detective Reynolds informs Alston about Connor's involvement in the death of a black boy, complicating Connor's departure from the city. On his way, Tyrone confronts Connor, demanding money for the losses incurred. Connor refuses, citing his job loss. Tyrone ominously hints at future consequences. Meanwhile, Candace, Connor's wife, takes a pregnancy test in the bathroom, revealing a positive result. Excitedly, she shares the news with him, who is overjoyed and kisses her. They celebrate at a restaurant, radiating happiness. Meanwhile, Tyrone visits Cornell's girlfriend, who blames him for Cornell's death. Tyrone apologizes and offers her money, before leaving. In a turn of events, Spade ambushes Connor outside the restaurant, knocking him unconscious and kidnapping Candace. When Connor wakes up, Tyrone approaches him, asking for money as compensation for Cornell's death. Tyrone stipulates that he now owes $2 million and must retrieve it within 12 hours to reunite with Candace, providing him with an address. Despite Connor's initial refusal, Tyrone insists, citing Candace's safety as leverage. Reluctantly, Connor agrees to comply with the demands. After regaining strength, Connor retrieves a lock key from the car, and opens the door. Unable to reach his brother Tim by phone, he sets out to Tim's house, seeking help. Upon arrival, Tim initially refuses to meet him. Desperate, he pleads for assistance, but Tim remains adamant. Frustrated, he forces his way into the house, sparking a physical altercation between the two. Amidst the chaos and broken items, Connor confides in Tim, revealing Candace's abduction. Tim confesses to a violent past, and doubts Candace's survival. Connor counters with the news of her pregnancy, stirring Tim's emotions. As tensions ease, Tim receives a call that prompts him to agree to assist, offering his support with a determined punch. Meanwhile, the media confronts Alston about alleged police racism, and the consequent targeting of black individuals. In the midst of this turmoil, Mason confronts Alston, demanding justice for the victims. Elsewhere, Connor and Tim discuss their plan, only to be interrupted by Mason's arrival. Together, they resolve to rescue Candace. In the midst of a tangled web of deceit and criminal activity, Candace finds herself in a car with one of Tyrone's associates. Meanwhile, Connor, Tim and Mason concoct a plan to rob a location provided by Tyrone. Mason rallies the team together for the heist, including Miller, who is spotted working at a shop, Stephen practicing his marksmanship, and his girlfriend Becky by his side. As Stephen and Becky share a tender moment, Mason interrupts with a crucial call, prompting them to abandon their task and join him. Following the failed rescue operation, they all turned away from law enforcement, blaming Mason for the mission's collapse. Now, reunited after 18 months, the five friends gather with apparent joy, setting the stage for what lies ahead. Following their reunion, Mason leads a discussion about rescuing Candace, prompting Connor to stumble upon a cache of weapons. Inspired, they form their own team, dubbing themselves the Ghost Squad. Embarking at the location provided by Tyrone, they successfully execute the robbery, uncovering both money and drugs hidden behind a wall, much to Mason's chagrin. As news of the heist reaches corrupt police chief Alston, he realizes the stolen goods belong to him. The Ghost Squad meanwhile arrives at another location, where Connor expresses remorse for his prior abandonment. Mason, understanding Connor's loyalty, forgives him, before obliterating their van. Alston arrives at the scene to find the aftermath of the destruction, unaware of the squad's military origins. Doubting the last remaining member's claim of a police mission, Alston presses forward, only to be found dead outside a hospital by a nurse, marking a dramatic turn in the unfolding events. Amidst a flurry of revelations and tensions, Candace confronts Tyrone about his smoking habit, divulging her pregnancy. Meanwhile, Alston confronts Tyrone over the recent theft, a claim he vehemently denies of being involved, a conversation overheard by Candace. Elsewhere, the Ghost Squad sifts through ill-gotten gains, their significance seemingly minimal. Connor, in communication with both Tyrone and Candace, navigates a delicate balance. Tyrone's demand for the stolen money prompts hesitancy from his right-hand man Spade, but Tyrone asserts his authority, convinced of his control over the situation. Candace, sympathetic to Tyrone's plight, offers her assistance, having witnessed his troubles firsthand. Tim and Connor heed Tyrone's call, retrieving the money and aligning themselves with his cause. Meanwhile, within the precinct, suspicion swirls around Tyrone, with little information available about the enigmatic Ghost Squad and the silenced witness. As Candace endeavors to flee Tyrone's grasp, she inadvertently stumbles upon his drug enterprise. In the midst of a tense situation, Tim and Connor occupy themselves in the car, discussing names for their future children. However, their tranquility is shattered when Tim retreats to the bathroom to indulge in drugs. On another front, Tyrone frantically searches for Candace, unaware of her intent to harm him. Their confrontation escalates as Tyrone subdues Candace, overpowering her. As Tim and Connor arrive at Tyrone's location, they're met with suspicion from the henchman, who escorts them to Tyrone. Amidst the tension, Tyrone recounts the stolen money, introducing Connor to Candace. Revelations ensue as Candace points the blame at Tim, citing his drug-induced plan. Anger boils over as Spade seeks revenge for Cornell's murder, targeting Connor. Despite Tyrone's attempts to mediate, a scuffle ensues, leading to Tim and Connor wresting the gun from the henchman. In the chaos, Connor falls victim to gunfire, prompting Tim to express remorse. As tensions escalate, Miller and Mason arrive with reinforcements, intensifying the search for Tyrone. Cornered, Tyrone reveals a shocking truth: Alston, the very person they've been at odds with, was responsible for betraying them in a past hostage crisis, leading to the dissolution of their former squad team. It's unveiled that Alston and Tyrone maintain a covert alliance, with Tyrone facilitating Alston's ascent to power. Seizing the moment, Tyrone unveils a bold plan to eliminate Alston once and for all. He discloses that Alston's entire fortune will be vulnerable during a bank transaction scheduled for the next day. By intercepting this transaction, they can cripple him financially, rendering him powerless. Tyrone showcases an arsenal of weapons, signaling his readiness for the impending showdown. Candace, recognizing the gravity of their situation, proposes fleeing the country after the heist, offering to sacrifice her passport for their escape. United in their resolve, the group embraces the plan, recognizing it as their best chance for redemption and freedom. As Detective Reynolds recounts Alston's history to Captain Skip, detailing his nefarious deeds, the Ghost Squad embarks on their final heist. Positioned outside the bank, Alston awaits, unaware of the impending confrontation. Detective Reynolds and Captain Skip arrive, forewarning Alston of potential trouble brewing within the bank. Before they can intervene further, the Ghost Squad detonates Alston's van, sparking a chaotic gunfight between them, Alston's henchmen, and law enforcement. Amidst the crossfire, tragedy strikes as Miller succumbs to a fatal gunshot wound. Undeterred, the Ghost Squad presses on, storming the bank with determination. However, in the chaos, Tim and Connor also fall victim to gunfire. In a desperate bid for backup, Stephen arrives in the van, wielding his sniper rifle to fend off the police and provide cover for his comrades. Despite his efforts, Stephen falls, adding to the mounting casualties. Meanwhile, Candace diligently prepares the passports, poised for their escape. As she emerges, the toll of the heist becomes painfully evident with Stephen's demise. As Detective Reynolds swiftly retrieves damning evidence of Alston's crimes from his mobile phone, he finds himself pursued by an ominous car. Mason, fueled by vengeance, launches a daring attack on both the police and Alston's forces, as Connor and Tyrone execute their plan to retrieve the money. A tense standoff ensues as Alston and his officers encircle Mason's vehicle, exchanging gunfire relentlessly. Despite Mason's attempts to escape, fate intervenes with his tragic demise, as his car comes to a halt near Alston. News broadcasts capture the chaos unfolding, documenting the dramatic events for the world to see. 7 months later in Mexico, Tyrone and Connor find solace in family life, playing with their child, as Becky discovers a stash of hidden money. And justice prevails as Detective Reynolds uncovers incriminating evidence against Alston, who had been recorded during the heist gunning down one of his subordinates, leading to his arrest. Moved by a sense of responsibility, Candace selflessly donates the ill-gotten gains, ensuring a brighter future for the next generation, leaving behind a trail of redemption, sacrifice, and closure. The end. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this. Turn on the notifications, and leave a like to help the channel out.